First and foremost, for everybody who is watching today, I took the time to have select people view and listen to the Backyard Mysteries Volume 2 Summer Joints before I publicly released it. I got some feedback. If you follow me, you saw me post some of the comments and the responses from the people. So I took that selection and now I'm asking them to, dive in and just kind of ask, maybe some questions that they may be interested in knowing. So that's what we're going to be doing today. First we got my boy, Corey Broady, man. He got a few questions he gonna ask, and we're gonna hop right into it right now.
Okay, so I got a few questions I wanted to ask God O for his Backyard Mysteries Volume 2 Summer Joints. So question number one, what was the creative process for this project and was it different from others?
The creative process between this one was pretty different. The biggest difference with this one to me is just that I recorded everything, mixed and mastered everything by myself. That's something I want to get better at. So I've been challenging myself. Even with Backyard Mysteries Volume 1, that was the goal. But I was a little self-conscious because some tracks I didn't know how to do it right. So I had to go like 2 or 3 of the tracks on the first joint. I had to get someone to do it for me. I took it, re-recorded it somewhere else. And there's other tracks that I did do. So I kind of halfway did it. But on this one, I really sat down and mixed everything, learned a lot more than what I knew on the first one. So on the process wise, that's probably the biggest difference to me. Not so much like writing, but you also got to remember, Backyard Mysteries is like my vault. It's me going into the vault. It's me going into my backyard and picking up the tracks that like I've been wanting to share with people, but haven't been able to put on my big project yet. So I dropped these joints just so the people can still tap in and hear what we're working on as we progress and we continue to add to the vault and build over this time, and y'all can kind of see that evolution.
You seem to be writing from a first person point of view. How do you generalize that and get the listener to relate to what you're saying?
So the way I do that, man, I feel like that's just like, I think that comes just from like living life, man. I really take in and listen whenever I'm speaking to people. God blesses me and puts me in a lot of random places, like in real time, to where I can kind of get real emotions from people. And I understand that those are things a lot of people are struggling with. So people say, oh, Wale, you so vulnerable in your music and blah, blah, blah. Sometimes it's not even really about me, bro. It's like we all kind of living through the same shit, So it's me explaining sometimes what I'm going through, but it's also like from the conceptualization that I get from like the masses. Like it's not like I just listen to one person talk. Like, this is like months and months, maybe even years of like hearing different people talk about different shit, their frustrations, their fears, their hopes, their desires, their wants, they're tapping in, they're not tapping in, they're left to right, so it really goes from listening to people who I encounter just throughout life randomly. Sometimes I pick at people, you know what I'm saying? I'm gonna ask you shit like, how you feeling? Like, what you going through? How's life with you? Or people will just be talking, or I'll overhear shit, social media, the news. I don't really watch the news, but just hearing things, headlines, all of this shit, the way people are reacting to stuff, the way people are scared of shit, all of that. I kind of take all of that into account, and then I also put like what I feel about that, if that makes sense. You know what I'm saying? Like what I feel about everything that I am getting from like this big cluster of responses from people, either directly or indirectly, and I just allow myself to like speak on that, because in this life we are all one. We one and the same. So it's kind of like I'm really able to feel people, and I pray that they can feel me and relate with the shit that I'm responding with.
Question number three, what do you want people to take away from this project after listening?
I want people to see the evolution of like where I was when I first started this shit. So there's people who really been watching me since SoundCloud days. So these joints, especially this Backyard Mystery Volume 2, is so special just because like I'm really freeing myself in this project and plan to continue doing that. But this one, I feel like I truly did it in like a genuine way. And yeah, man, that's what I feel. Yeah.
And then question number 4, in your own words, what would you say is the difference between Backyard Mysteries Volume 1 and Volume 2?
What difference between Backyard Mysteries Volume 1 and Volume 2? The biggest difference on this one, like I said earlier, is just that, you know, I was able to do the whole project, mix and mastering it myself. And I feel like I was able to get a little bit more, I was able to connect with the tracks a little bit more in Volume 2. Volume 1 was kind of like a blueprint. It was kind of like let's put it out there, see how folks react. Let's put it out there, you know, and because honestly, I didn't know if I was going to drop a Volume 2. To be real, like, no, I had an idea too, you know, I had an idea to drop a Volume 2, and there will be more. But after I dropped Volume 1, I didn't know if I was going to continue, like, just in the real honesty. Like, you know, it was like, I might just drop it next year, you know what I'm saying, drop Volume 2 next year. But something in me was like, nah, man, this is something, this is a part of the O catalog, you know what I'm saying? Because, you know, I did something back in the day, like my About These Bars, you know what I'm saying? If y'all follow me, you'll remember that. And I didn't continue, you know, I did it 1 year and I still haven't got back to it. I hope to one of these years, but I never got back to it. And I honestly didn't want the first one to be like that. So I had to force myself to create the second one and do it more intentionally. And yeah.
My last question is, what are some of your favorite moments from Summer Joints? I know you could kind of go like with, you know, maybe like a verse or maybe the way you say something, like a moment, or like your favorite song. What's your favorite track from Summer Joints? So that's it.
That's tough, bro. That's a tough question. And I'm on the spot right now. You know, I kind of wanted this to be free. I didn't want to sit here and think too hard about it. I wanted to really kind of just like let it flow out. So my favorite moments from creating Summer Joints, man. Whew. Really, bro? I would say it's probably writing Looking For. And if you remember correctly, when we was in DC, we was out in DC and I showed you the first draft of Looking For, which sounds way different than this. It was almost too personal and it didn't really make sense, but I was just venting so hard in that hole. I literally had to rewrite Looking For 9 different times before it became the version that I put on the tape. And I love it because what it is now is not what it was. And I can truly see the transformation from like taking the time and the days and the hours of like beating my head and like just trying to get it right, just trying to get it better, just trying to like challenge myself to do it a little better. Because like by the 4th redo, I was like, bro, this shit good. We can put the tape together now. But it was just something like, nah, bro, you can still go harder, bro. You can still go harder. Sending it to, you know, the people on the team and like, you know, getting the responses and, you know, really allowing myself to build, man. I think that was like my favorite moment. Like that whole process. I was almost like, what, a month or so, 2 months, like, you know, just revising, going back through it, re-recording it, on multiple songs, but with that one specifically. So I would say Looking For was a favorite moment, favorite song. On a cool, it's probably Summer Love. I wanted to say Fast Life, but it's probably Summer Love. Just on the way to her feel. She wanna love her in the morning. Because Summer Love, I was supposed to drop last year. So Summer Love, I've been waiting to drop. So I'm happy that I was able to finally release it because there's so many songs that get lost in the vault that'll never see the light of day. So I was glad that I could find a good place to put Summer Love. And I feel like where I put it was. But yeah, man, that's what I got. Thank you for the questions. And yeah, man. Thank y'all. Tap in, go check out Backyard Mysteries Volume 2, Summer Joints, all platforms. That whole fire, because everything I do fire. My team fire, God fire. And we're gonna keep on keeping on.